So I had a chance to check out all the new Samsung products that were just announced today in Paris. We have the Z Flip 6, Z Fold 6, Galaxy Ring, Galaxy Buds Pro, and also the Galaxy Watch and Galaxy Watch Ultra. As you can see, there's a lot of new products and I only had a limited amount of time checking everything out. Let's start with the Z Flip 6. If I had to sum things up in a few words, I'd say better cameras, better materials, and a bigger battery. Now we do have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip and 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is up from 8 gigabytes of RAM last year. Now this year is not a major upgrade in terms of design, but the small upgrades really makes the phone feel a bit more premium. The design is more brushed matte and not glossy that we saw last year's, so this leads to less fingerprints, and also it feels better in the hand overall. It's also 2 millimeters thinner, but you also do have a larger battery at 4,000 milliamp. Also, the biggest change is that you now have a 50 megapixel camera, which is up from 12 megapixels last year. You also have a zoom with digital crop, and also you have an ultra wide lens as well. The camera housing is also a bit bigger, and the camera ring around it matches the color of the phone, which I think looks pretty good. So here it is side by side with the Z Flip 5. You can see those camera lenses sticking out a bit more, and you can also see that color making it pop. And here it is next to the Moto Razr Plus that just came out this year. As you can see, the Razr Plus does have more screen real estate than the Z Flip. And of course, I'll do a full comparison between these two phones, but just want to show you what they actually looked like side by side. So if you think you're gonna avoid the word AI, you're definitely not. The Z Flip 6 has a lot of AI baked in, and a lot of the presentation that they had was talking about the AI stuff. And a lot of the AI stuff is crossover from the new Galaxy devices. But the flex screen does make it a bit more elegant in some situations, just like when doing translations. In this example, we had one person speaking Spanish using the flex display and the other person speaking English on the main display. Those are some really cool features you can only get with phones that flip and have these external displays. So just kind of seeing that in action in a more practical scenario was definitely pretty cool. Now beyond that, the Flip 6 is very similar to the 5 in all of the aspects. And when it comes to software features like the new AI stuff and wallpapers and themes, that will be on the 5 as well. So you're not getting anything software related on the 6 that you won't have on the 5. And even possibly the 4. Now moving over to the Z Fold 6, I would say this phone actually had the least amount of changes. But the one change people were asking for, including myself, it's shorter and wider, which makes it easier to hold in the closed position. Before, the screen felt so cramped and it was difficult to type for me. But now with it being a bit wider, this does make it easier to type on. The display also gets much brighter at 2600 nits of peak brightness, which is up from 1750. The phone also has an all-new Armor aluminum frame, which just like the Flip, makes the phone feel better in the hands. Samsung also mentioned this phone was stronger and also can deal with drops better, and also impacts to the screen. There's a lot of structural changes that was made to this device to make it the strongest folding phone ever. But honestly, there isn't much else outside of software, which will come to the Z5 Fold as well. So I think this year is just more so refinement on top of what they had. So if you have the 5 and you're going to the 6, you're not gonna truly notice those things. But if you're coming from like a 3 or 4, or if this is your first, fold experience, you're gonna really enjoy the hardware because it's still up there as some of the best hardware on any mobile device. We do have the newest processor, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but the cameras and batteries have not been changed. So you expect the same camera performance and also expect the same battery life, which are two things that aren't horrible, but when you have that exact same experience year over year, where the competition is sort of catching up to you. So now let's talk about the accessories. We have the Galaxy Buds 3 and the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. They have an all new look. They have a new stem design that looks very familiar, but I do prefer that type than just the kinds that just press into your ear. The Buds 3 has a one-way 11mm driver, whereas the Pros have a two-way 10.5mm driver plus a 6.1 planner driver. And being very honest, I have no idea what that means. And for audio, listening to it is the most important thing, and I wasn't able to listen to it. So I can just talk about the specs and some of the features, but without really using them, it's hard to give a full opinion. They both have 2 mics and also do 24-bit hi-fi. They have ANC, but the Pros have ambient sound and voice detection. Now, as far as battery life, you get 6 hours of battery life on the Pro with ANC turned on and 5 hours on the non-Pro with ANC turned on as well. They do have IP57, so you can work out in them or you can get caught in the rain, and they shouldn't give you a problem at all. And I think these earbuds, although they look very similar to the AirPods, they look cool because they have these LEDs in the stem, and I think these LEDs are kind of cool. I don't know why. I guess I'm a sucker for LEDs. Samsung is putting a lot of money into health, and you can definitely see that over the years with the Samsung Health app and a lot of the certifications they're getting in their watches and everything. They've been doing a great job. This is the Galaxy Ring, and this was teased back in January, and now it's finally here. This is a wearable designed for 24-hour health monitoring. So right now, I do wear a smart ring and I actually like to wear it more than I like to wear a smart watch. Due to its size, its battery life, and I like to wear real mechanical watches too. So I'm excited to see the Galaxy Ring in action, knowing that it can tie into Samsung Health, and also it is compatible with all the other Samsung products if you're in that ecosystem. It comes in 3 colors, and it has a titanium grade 5 finish, and you get up to 7 days of battery life. The dock also can charge the ring as well. And this plugs into that Samsung Health ecosystem, which is very solid, and you can track a lot of information. Now I'll be doing a full review of this ring and comparing it to the Ultra Human, which I'm currently wearing now, and also the Oura Ring, which I wore for a couple of years as well. Finally, let's talk Galaxy Watch Ultra. First of all, the watch looks great. Samsung did a very good job with this watch, and I really do like the design of it. But the elephant in the room is the name, Ultra. We know exactly what product they're going for with the name Ultra when it comes to a premium, ruggedized watch. So we're going to have to do a comparison between this watch and the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, side by side, this watch is actually bigger than the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, without having the exact specs, just visually speaking, it feels bigger and also feels a little bit thicker as well. Now, as far as weight, when I was wearing it, it didn't feel any heavier than the Apple Watch Ultra. This watch is built for extreme durability with a titanium grade 438 frame and 10 ATM water resistance, and it operates from 500 meters below sea level and 9,000 meters high. So it can be used as a dive watch and also as like a skydiving watch too, if those are things that you do. It has multi-sport tracking, so if you're doing like a triathlon, you can measure your cycling power and your FTP scores, and also running and also swimming. It can track all those advanced metrics. We also have personalized heart rate zones. So it's not just a catch-all, this is your heart rate, but it actually could tell you your zones based off your metrics. And then we also have the quick button on the side, which instantly goes into maps. It can activate the siren, it can control workouts. It's kind of more so like a catch-all button or like the action button found on the Apple Watch. Also, this watch does have a peak brightness of 3000 nits for visibility in bright sunlight, and also the longest battery life on any Galaxy Watch. It comes in 47 millimeters in titanium gray, titanium white, and titanium silver. That's all the information I have for you guys today. The sun's starting to go down. I'm starting to get a little bit darker, but that's everything that I can tell you about so far. Obviously, everything is just getting announced today. Once I get things in, be able to get a chance to use it, do some comparisons, make some videos. So yeah, hit subscribe to watch that. Anyways, guys, another beautiful day in paradise. Kevin the Tech Ninja, and we'll talk really soon. Peace.